Today's video will look at a scenario in which Romania and Bulgaria go to war. Two once rival nations. Two nations that have fought against each other a few times. And while Bulgaria launches an offensive, with their first offensive's goal of managing to take Bucharest, which fails, it stalls out before it can get there, and then they move one into Dubroja, which gets pretty far before it starts stalling out. And then a front over here, in less key territories. And while Romania launches an offensive pretty quick, pushing Bulgaria away from the capital. But during this time, Bulgaria takes advantage of the situation and continues to advance into Dubroja, and they start to border the Danube River. As I start cutting off Bucharest and pushing towards it, Romania launches a counterattack over here in the east-west. And they push Bulgaria all the way back with a spearhead. And while Bulgaria crosses the Dnieper in Dubroja and moves to here. With this front continuing, and they open the front back over here, with Romania's capital being seized again. Serbia ends up joining the war, along with Moldova, which leads to Bulgaria to scramble for allies, which they end up getting Croatia and Hungary involved, with Serbia pushing Bulgaria back here. This is where the Vojvodinian offensive by Croatia begins, and offensive into the Transylvania regions of Romania. And well, they push in pretty far. But due to mountainous terrain, they start to slow down their front. With Bulgaria launching a small attack against Serbia. At this point, Romania launches a counterattack in the north. And it turns out to be like this as they try to break through here. But at this point, well, Bulgaria continues its breakthrough. And while in their war of Romania and Bulgaria, doesn't look too well, as I try to find another ally. And well, the ally of choice, they're trying to pressure Greece into joining. As well, Serbia starts falling and Romania starts falling, with Romania finally losing its capital but not surrendering, with a Bulgarian advance into Moldova, and the entrance of Montenegro. Montenegro sends some forces to help. All their forces do is make a small counter-offensive here and over here, with Bulgaria getting Albania and Kosovo to join, which quickly overrun these areas. Finally, they decide to get Greece involved. Well, this is the turning point, probably. Well, yeah. As Greece joins, they quickly launch two offensives. Their first offensive is against Bulgaria in the southern part, and it goes really well. The second one is against Albania, with over here on the border between Romania and Serbia, another offensive is launched and manages to do this. As they manage to collapse Montenegro. And while at that, they manage to collapse by taking Chisinau. This leads to the collapse of Moldova. But Greece quickly advances north. Albania and Montenegro fall, which leads to Serbia managing to launch an offensive alongside Greece. And they finally push back to the Bulgarian border, and they connect forces along it. With Romania's forces quickly moving into here, this cuts off a lot of Bulgarian forces. Well, Bulgaria ends up having this as their problem, and they fall out of Serbia. Why would they do that, you may ask? Well, to launch a counteroffensive against Greece. And it's a partial failure. Well, at this point, Romania launches an offensive. Croatia, seeing what's going to happen, decides to withdraw its troops from Vojvodina, which leads to it looking like this. But here, the front collapses where Hungary is, and well, Hungary ends up quickly losing Budapest to both the sides, and they collapse it. And at this point, the Greek offensive in southern Bulgaria is a huge success. Managed to take Plovdiv and quickly move up and take Sofia, the capital, and this leads to Bulgaria's fall. Bulgaria surrendered, so let's see the peace treaty. Albania, 2/3 going to Greece, 1/3 going to Serbia, all of Montenegro because they decided to annex it, all of Kosovo, parts of Bulgaria, and parts of Hungary. Romania gained Moldova, parts of this area, and parts of northern Bulgaria, with Greece gaining lands in the south, and as you can see, Bulgaria barely is there now. And it becomes an occupation zone of Moldova. And well, that's all for today's video. Please like, subscribe, and comment while Mapper out, but not always